The new iPhone 16 and iOS 18 aren't just another cycle in Apple's evolution. They're a carefully crafted signal that Apple's aiming to build the most compelling smartphone experience out there, one that's hard to ignore even for die-hard Android users. The level of detail Apple's introduced, both in software and hardware, signals they're not just content with satisfying their current user base. They're inviting a new crowd to join the iPhone community, almost daring them to find a reason not to switch. For years, Android fans have made their needs known. They wanted USB-C, and Apple gave it to them. They craved customization, widgets, more personalization, and gradually, Apple delivered. And the release of iOS 18 might just be the tipping point. Apple has introduced such a range of customization options that even the most ardent Android user might be impressed, arranging widgets wherever you want, icon tinting, hiding app names, and creating a control center that not only allows integration with third-party apps, but lets you control what appears and where. It's now possible to make an iPhone feel truly personal, something that Apple historically hasn't focused on to this degree. And yet, for those who aren't interested in spending time adjusting settings, the iPhone experience remains polished and straightforward by default. It's the kind of balancing act that Apple has perfected: depth without complexity, versatility without chaos. And there's more. The decision to finally support RCS, rich communication services on iPhone, can't be overstated. It's one of those updates that might not sound glamorous at first, but it fundamentally changes how Android and iPhone users can communicate. No more losing features, missing out on read receipts, or seeing blurry images and videos just because one person in the group is using an Android. RCS has been a point of frustration for mixed platform messaging, and Apple's decision to embrace it might be one of the most practical updates they've made in years. But what really drives this new iPhone's appeal isn't just the software. It's also the hardware, a product of 5 years of listening to feedback and making changes, not just for the sake of change, but for meaningful improvements. The iPhone 16 has larger displays, ultra-slim bezels, and, perhaps most intriguingly, the Action button. Originally introduced on the iPhone 15 Pro, it now appears across the iPhone 16 lineup, customizable to a degree we don't often see from Apple. Want it to act as a camera button, a flashlight, or even launch a specific app? Go for it. You're not bound by traditional button rolls anymore. Then there's the camera control, which is fast becoming a topic of debate among users. For those who want a simplified interface, it can feel like overkill. But for photo enthusiasts, it opens up new ways to quickly access different lenses and settings. Apple has always catered to a wide range of users, from those who just want a quick snapshot to those who take mobile photography seriously. Camera control feels like a natural step for those who demand more from their camera but are cautious about complexity. In fact, you can lock the camera control interface to just one menu if you prefer, so it's only as intricate as you need it to be. And this isn't even mentioning the battery life, an upgrade that's central to the iPhone 16 experience. Apple has significantly improved heat dissipation, helping the device stay cooler even with intensive use. This, coupled with a larger battery, means users can expect to push their phones further. For many, battery life isn't just a feature, it's a necessity, and it can make or break the smartphone experience. Apple's improvements here speak volumes about the attention to user needs. Even the process of switching from Android to iPhone has been simplified. Apple's move to iOS app, already known for its ease, now transfers more data than ever. Voice memos, Wi-Fi settings, dual SIM labels. Everything that once felt like a hurdle in migrating now feels like a minor task, almost as if Apple is holding your hand through the process. There's also the broader Apple ecosystem, which Android has struggled to match. iMessage alone, with its encryption, ease of use, and integration with other Apple devices, has been a major factor in people sticking with iPhone. But there's so much more. AirPods that switch seamlessly between devices, the Apple Watch with its robust health features, and new emergency functionalities that can be life-saving in critical moments. The more time you spend in the Apple ecosystem, the clearer it becomes that Apple's not just making phones. They're making devices that work together in ways other ecosystems are still trying to catch up to. And for anyone wondering about waiting for the rumored iPhone 17 Slim, the iPhone 16 feels like a solid conclusion to Apple's current design evolution. Starting with the iPhone 12's flat edges, moving through the lightweight titanium build of the iPhone 15, and finally culminating in the iPhone 16's refined, larger display and heat management upgrades, it's as if Apple spent the last 5 years arriving at this point, a phone that embodies all the feedback, refinement, and evolution in one. For some, this combination of iPhone 16 hardware and iOS 18's flexibility might feel like the right moment to make the jump. And for Apple, it feels like a genuine invitation to Android users, an open door into an ecosystem they might find surprising in its thoughtfulness, versatility, and depth. It's an invitation for those who want both innovation and stability, and for those who might finally be ready to say yes.